What's up, Yoda Forest? It's Lindsay here. Today we are taking my 2022 completely bone stock 4Runner and transforming it into the overland vehicle of my dreams. I'm kind of speechless. It looks so much better than it did. We are in Idaho Falls today at Hammer Auto and 4x4, and with me I have Jordan and Nick, the owners.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey. So what are we doing today?
So today we're gonna take your sweet 4Runner here. We're gonna put a 3-inch lift on it with Fox reservoir shocks in the rear, Fox reservoir coilovers in the front, and Icon springs in the back.
And we're gonna upgrade brakes, we're gonna upgrade some lighting, and it's gonna be awesome.
Awesome, let's get it started.
Well, we're about ready to lift the 4Runner up, get some jack stands under it, so we can start doing disassembly to get the front coilovers in, rear springs, and get the brakes on.
So while Nick and Jordan are working on installing the front coilovers, me and Juan are going to be working on installing the rear taillights. We are going to be installing the Alpha Rex Lux Series in Alpha Black taillights.
So what we're going to do is we're going to pop off the cover and then disconnect the taillight, the connection port, and then there should be 2 bolts inside to remove, and then that's about it. Yeah, these are nice, look at that. I like the black, how it's all blacked out on there. No more chrome.
It'll be a nice contrast. My name is Lindsay. I am 31 years old, and I am building up my 2022 Toyota 4Runner. I went from building my last 4Runner in a 2-year span to building it in 2 weeks. So it's going to be a crazy experience. I think it's going to be crazy seeing it go from stock to fully built out, and I'm nervous but excited. Oh, it looks so pretty. Love it. It's gonna look great. So I've always loved the Alpha Rex. I bought the old Lux series on my last 4Runner, and so I knew I wanted to go with them. They're super bright.
I don't know what Lindsay wants, but...
I want the amber.
You want the amber?
I love the
All right,
fact that Alpha Rex gives you the option to switch between amber and white. So I chose to go with the amber DRLs because it goes very well with my KC amber lights. I feel like it just gives the whole car a good look to match.
Pop this cover on this side of the light. There's these 2 little cords. They're going to be disconnected. If you connect them, it's going to be an amber light for a daytime running light, or if you leave them disconnected as they are when you receive them, it's going to be a white light.
We just finished installing the rear tail lights, and now we are going to be installing the headlights.
What we're going to do is we're going to remove the cover, remove the front bumper, but it's pretty simple. What you need is a pry tool, your finger, and a 10mm socket. And it's pretty simple. All these little guys, plastic retainers, you push in, get your pry tool, and then they just pop out. And we'll do that to get this cover off. And then in here, there should probably be a couple of 10mm bolts that we'll just take off. Should be about a 15-minute job, nothing too crazy, easy. 2022 4Runner, you need to also disconnect your fog lights, and you'll need to disconnect your anti-collision sensor up at the front. This one.
Yeah.
You need to loosen this up so you can pop off the headlight here. It's putting too much tension on the headlight underneath it, so you can't take off the headlight. And then the other side, you'll have to do the same thing on the other side. Cool.
You're probably gonna have
On the other side.
fog lights. Nick, the plug's on your side for the fog lights.
I got it. Inside the box, you're gonna have this little harness here. So what we want to do is find this little connector that connects to that one. This one connects to this one, and you're gonna have along your ends like this. This will run to the other side of your headlight that will be connected, and then we'll have to go in here and mount this guy probably somewhere in the back of here so it's out of the way, and then we'll install our fuse as well as our positive and negative ports for the harness.
Okay. Those are nice. Sometimes the rotors get a little stuck on little C's. You can sometimes tap on here with a hammer, it might break it loose, but they come with these nice little threaded holes. You just screw a bolt in each one and it pops it right off and makes it come off nice and slick like that. And if that doesn't work, then do a little more hammering. Some more. So on these upper control arms, they have a big foot-long bolt that goes through that upper control arm, so we kind of gotta weasel that out of there. Then this control arm will pop right off, and then we can get to pulling the strut assembly off. So it'll be interesting to see how that bolt comes out, but I think we'll get her done. So a few things in the way up top here, but they're fairly movable, and just like that, get your upper control arm out.
All right, so I've got the axle nut off and it's just scooted back so that we got plenty of room here. Tie rod's off, sway bar link, brakes are off to the side. So now we should be ready to unbolt this and slide it out, and then take that upper control arm off. So pretty close.
Oh, you have your long 14 though.
Oh yeah.
I need that.
You need it. Here, actually, I'm almost done.
Nick has this fancy set of wrenches here that pretty much every job we use them, and they're $600 a set, but
It's worth it.
they're worth it.
All right, got that bolt out, and that strap just slides right out. I'm Nick Hammond. I'm 33, and I'm a mechanic, and I own my own shop. Everything in the automotive world, every car is different. Like you said, you know, some have more rust, some have less, some are tight spaces, some aren't. And so it's always just the rule of 2 heads are better than 1. And so anytime I see something and I can't visualize what I need to do, I immediately call Jordan over, and he looks at it from a different angle and says, you know what if we tried this? Seeing where things need to go, and then the practical application of, okay, what's this gonna look like once we're out on the rocks, you know? So he has a really good sense of that.
Get the reservoir mounted on this bracket that we installed from the kit, and then we can move on to the upper control arms after that. I think we might need to get some bigger hose clamps.
With room to spare.
No way. What size is yours on there? What does it say? No. Dude, it's the same clamp. Do you have to just undo the whole thing?
Well, I'm winning right now. It's always a competition, yeah. I look at it like a gym partner, you know, you're like, okay, I'm gonna bench 220 right now, and he's like, no, do 230. And that's what we do here. It's like, hey, I'm gonna do this faster than you.
Are you team Nick or team Jordan?
I don't know, Team Nick looks like he's actually working. I'm just kidding, Jordan.
I undid some lines to give me more room to get to that upper control arm bolt, and he didn't have all the stuff in the way on the inside either, so. I think in the front, Nick beat me, and in the back, I beat Nick. Nick had a head start. I got a long ways to go still.
Oh, I think I probably won on that. I don't know. He's always pushing me, like I said, and so the main thing is that we both win at the end.
Okay, so Juan's done installing the headlights, so we're just gonna replace the bumper back on the 4Runner. It's looking great. It's a slow process, but it's gonna be complete and everything's gonna look great, so yeah, I'm excited.
Nick, are you about to hit the finish line?
Yes, I am ready for new brakes. Yep.
So now we're getting ready to put the sway bar back up, and then we'll put these brackets back on with the new spacers to give it a little more clearance to the sway bar. Just like that, you got yourself a 3-inch lift on your 4Runner.
Okay, since we have the headlights installed and the front coilovers, we're going to be working on the rotors and brakes in the front for now. And Nick and Jordan are going to be installing the springs and shocks in the rear. All right guys, I quickly want to show you exactly what I had on the 4Runner before for my shocks versus what I'm going to be having on them now. I'm super excited to get these guys on, and I'm excited to try them out on the trails, so let's get them installed.
Springs in. Now we can do the track bar relocation bracket. That'll just recenter the rear axle because we've raised it up, so it's changed our angle a little bit on the track bar. And then we'll be good to put in the new shocks and get the reservoirs all mounted up.
All right, we're ready to install this shock here. So this fits on a peg on the bottom, and then this stud goes up through. Then we got to get a bushing, and then got to get that nut on. That's what we needed.
We're going to be installing the R1 Concepts rotors and brake pads. So it should be pretty simple, nothing too crazy, but make sure one thing you want to do is grease your bolts. You're going to be putting back. Also greasing the back of your brake pads, and then also where they're going to be riding inside your caliper, and also your pins. These are kind of an area where everybody forgets to, and then they get corroded, and they're kind of a pain in the ass to remove. So we'll get to it. Once that pin's in, everything's aligned. Now it's just to tighten these back bolts, and that's pretty much it. And then it's installed.
Okay, so we just got through installing the first wheel on the 4Runner. These are the Falcon off-road wheels in the Apollos. This is a wheel I helped develop, so I'm excited to see them on the 4Runner. We have them on the Nitto Recon Grapplers. These are 285s, 75s, and the rim size 17, so excited to see it all done.
Kind of marking this out so Nick can cut that corner out for the reservoir to fit down in there. That is a clean cut.
Okay, mount it up.
Morning of day 2, Nick and Jordan are done installing the suspension kit, and now we are moving on to install the Dr. KDSS track bar correction kit. This is made for your track bar to keep your axle centered. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and install it. Now we're just going to go ahead and torque it down. Okay, so we just got through installing that track bar correction kit. Now Juan's gonna install the rear brakes and rotors, and then we should be ready to put on the tires.
And after tightening those 2 last bolts in the back, that completes the rear rotors.
Alright guys, so we just got finished with the installs of the headlights, taillights, suspension, wheels, and tires. I'm gonna head out to C4 now to get it all armored up. And before I go, I want to say a huge thank you to Nick and Jordan from Hammer Auto and 4x4. If you guys are ever in the Idaho area, this is the place to go. Thank you guys. I just want to say thank you for all your diligent work and getting it done in a speedy time.
Yeah, no problem. We had a great time, and we look forward to seeing it all finished.
All right, can't wait.
Okay,
all right.
see you.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Caleb Rupp. I'm 38 years old and I'm owner of C4 Fabrication. Lindsay's about to get here and we're pretty excited to get her 4Runner in the shop. It's a really nice 4Runner, Lunar Rock color, which is awesome, like personally my favorite color. So it's cool to see a build here in the shop with all of our products just fully going on the 4Runner. It's gonna be an awesome transformation and I'm really excited to see how it comes out.
All right guys, I made it here from Idaho to South Dakota at the C4 Fabrication facility. I'm going to be getting a lot of the armor put on here, so I can't wait to show you guys what we're going to be doing. All right, so first we're going to install the C4 rock sliders. You can get them with or without the step plates, but I decided to go with the step plates. So we're going to go ahead and get that started.
So on these rock sliders, you'll see this cross member right here hangs down, and our frame plate in the front is actually angled to hug that cross member. There's no factory holes in the cross member, but we do provide you 2 slotted holes right here where you can drill and install provided hardware. The nice thing about that is it's just one more frame plate with a point of security on the bottom of the frame.
All right, we just got through installing the C4 sliders, and now we're just going to be installing the C4 skid plates.
All right, so what these guys are doing is pulling the factory front skid plate off of the 4Runner. We'll be replacing that with C4's front steel skid plate that has a couple of holes cut in it for access to the filter. And then we'll also be doing the rear diff skid.
We're about to install the rear diff skid plate on the 4Runner. So what we have to do is loosen these traction bars on both sides. We'll go ahead and slide this guy in. Here we go. And then we'll tie in those mountain points back up, and then we'll tie in this skid plate with the bracket that Wes is installing. And that's it.
All right, we just got through installing the skid plates and the rock sliders. We're going to be moving on to the front bumper and the rear bumper today. And we have Wes mapping out exactly where we need a cut. Wes, can you explain what you're doing?
Yeah, so we have reference points on several different spots of the front end of the 4Runner where we'll show you in an install video, point of reference for your tape measure, where to measure down to. So I'm just making all those marks, writing the measurements down so I can triple check afterwards, and then we'll run a piece of tape all the way across this to get our cut line.
So they're about to, you're seeing the lines where they're gonna cut your 4Runner. Are you scared at all?
I'm a little nervous. I mean, anybody would be nervous. Like, cutting into that. I think that's the most scary part is these vehicles are not cheap, so you're just kind of like nervous about doing that. But in the end, I think it comes down to who you trust to cut into your vehicle and then like your vision altogether. You just have to go with that. It's nerve-wracking for sure.
I'm going to start from here and work across that way. I can just clean it up really good with this Scotch-Brite pad.
What do you think?
It looks good. It's a nice clean cut. So I went with the C4 Overland series front bumper. The reason being is because I do go camping a lot, I go off-road a lot, and just having that extra clearance is nice and it won't affect the bottom of the vehicle, which I've had to deal with in the past. So I really like it.
We're organizing all the KC lights. So Lindsay's going to be running their Flexera 3s, slim light LEDs for the front bumper. We have some Flexera 1s that are going to go on the rear. Right now I think we have everything here, so it's going to look great once we have it all installed. So we're trying to decide what we want to do, either keep it like this or keep it just like that. The issue is with this cover, the square cover that goes on the light, we don't have enough clearance where the bolt goes, so we're going to have to take some material out to see if we can fix this on there so it's flush with the bumper.
This is a washer tank skid plate or washer tank guard. So this protects the plastic windshield washer tank that's now exposed after you take the OE bumper off. Just a nice addition so you don't get any rocks or road debris getting up in there and cracking the motor or breaking the tank.
All right guys, we just got through installing the front bumper. I love it, it looks so good. Now we're gonna just move on to doing the roof rack. It's the Sherpa roof rack, and I'm gonna help Juan go ahead and install that.
Lindsay! 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 Helper! Lindsay! Helper! Where's the helper?
Oh, hi. I'm failing at my job.
Well, right now organizing all the parts for the Sherpa rack, and then once I lay everything out, I might start assembling it down here, leaving everything nice and loose and then just throw it up, or I haven't decided just to how my route's going to go about it, about putting it all together, but I'll figure it out.
Okay, so while me and Juan are just gonna start on the Sherpa roof rack, the boys are just gonna start on the C4 Overland Series rear bumper, and I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's done.
Holy shit!
Dirt dumped on his face from the rear bumper, so it looked like it came all out of the bumper and just dumped right on his face. Yeah, we like to try and have a little bit of fun, at least while we're working on these cars.
Dude, I couldn't breathe, and then I felt more.
Well, we got all the hardware taken out of the plastic rear bumper here, and we're about ready to pull it right off the back of the 4Runner.
So the bumper slides on over the cross member, and these supports just get in the way a little bit. So you hammer them down just slightly so that they can clear when we slide the bumper on. About a 1/2 inch. So this one's about 4, 4.5. So that's all you need right there.
There's already a hole here that guides us. Just take a little rubber plug out of there, and then we drill all the way through. There's 2 other layers of sheet metal behind there.
Okay, right now I organized everything that I need for the components for the roof rack. So I'm gonna start assembling the mounts and taking them up here. So I'm gonna grab these, take these guys up there, and some of these sleeves are the ones that are gonna run inside that rubber piece, and that's what's going to sit on your roof of your vehicle.
So I decided to go with the Sherpa Crest Stone rack. Reason being is I needed something that would withstand the weight and be able to carry a big enough tent for me. And the rack itself looks really clean, and it makes the whole vehicle look sturdy and beefier. I like that.
Absolutely necessary.
I'm just kidding.
Our bumper, it goes like all the way back here, like for wheel well
Right.
openness. It's open back here. So we usually take sledgehammer and like form all that in, bend it in.
That's fine with me.
Just making sure. Before I take sledgehammer to your car and you're like, whoa, what are you doing over there?
No, you're good. You're good.
This one's over here.
That's fine. He knows what he's doing, so.
So before the bumper goes on the 4Runner, we just got to get the hardware installed with these big mounting brackets, and it'll be ready to go on.
We build everything out of steel. We don't do any aluminum products or anything. Aluminum can fail pretty easily if it's not done just perfectly. We love working with steel. It's strong, it's reliable, it can take a beating, and it will bend and come back to shape, you know, without being permanently damaged a lot of the time. So that's what we like to work with. All of our products are designed with the thought in mind that you can actually take them out and use them, and you can bang them off rocks and trees if you need to, and whatever you need to do to go enjoy your products, yeah, it's covered.
KC, I'm pretty sure these aren't released yet, but they made a flush mount for their Flex Aero 1s. And in all of our rear bumpers, we have cutouts, flush mount cutouts that will fit Baja Designs, Rigids. These bolt holes will definitely line up here, but this is a pretty chunky light, so we're just gonna have to make a relief cut on the steel of that cutout so that the light will fit inside of it.
These are T-nuts. This is what goes underneath this extrusion. Allows it something to bite on when you're tightening whatever you want to tighten onto there. I think the only thing left to do is to put this wind fairing at the front, and then that's it, because everything is tightened on the rack, so you can get up there, shake it as much as you want. It's not moving, it's not squeaking.
I'm just making sure they're okay.
Good?
Yeah, we're good. Okay, so we have the Sherpa roof rack complete. We have the rear C4 bumper mounted on. We just need to bolt it on, as well as the swing arm and the ladder. And then we'll be done with the whole build.
Yeah, I think Lindsay's really gonna love the 4Runner. It turned out amazing. The colors and everything look great on it. You know, all the black look, because she did black headlights and taillights and everything all with it too. And it just looks amazing. I think she's going to be super happy and stoked with it. I can't wait to see it out on the trail and for you guys to get some video coverage and everything of it too, and just see how it performs. It's going to look amazing.
So over the span of the last few days, just slowly seeing it progress, it's been wild. Like going from stock to fully built out in that manner of days. I'm super excited about it. It's beautiful and I can't wait to like drive it around, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's hard to find the words, but I love it. So much fun, and I want to thank YodaForce for even making this build possible, for letting me work with all these companies. I'm so excited to get it home and show my boys and see what their reaction is. I can't wait.
Time for me to work on my race car. That's what's next.
I'm done with 4Runners for today.